Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. In this episode, I am going to reveal to you who I am supporting for the position of the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. Yes, I am going to be revealing to you who my preferred candidate is for the position of the House Speaker. Now, before I get to that, let me share with you something else which I believe is relevant to the discussion. Not too long ago, somebody asked me a question. Somebody came up to me and asked, hey, we have so many challenges in our country. There are so many issues that we face. Given all of this, do you feel optimistic about the future of America, or do you feel pessimistic? And I thought about it for a second, and I said, I feel optimistic. And then the person asked me, why do you feel optimistic? We have so many issues. There's inflation, there are supply chain issues, there are social issues, there's a lot of unrest, and then as a country, we are also, tied up in international issues, and obviously all over the world there are different kinds of problems. There are alliances and there are adversaries, and there are different conflicts going on in different parts of the world. And as a global leader, we get pulled into a lot of different international things that take place all around the world, right? And so there are so many things going on, so many challenges. Why do you feel optimistic? And my answer is because of diversity. We are an increasingly diverse country. People from all over the world come to the United States and they bring their ideas, they bring their skills, they bring their talents, and they bring their willingness to work hard and to succeed. Regardless of race, religion, language, socioeconomic status, most people want to be happy. They want to be able to provide for their families. They want to live a life of peace and prosperity. Now, it's challenging to climb the ladder of success. And if you have listened to my previous podcast episode, then you know what I've said there. I talked about how people are being deprived, how people are working hard, and they are still being deprived of the fruits of their labor. I talked about it. If you have not listened to that podcast episode, please do so. I talked about how people are working hard, so very hard, and they are still not being able to climb the ladder of success. They are falling behind. Why is that? Because many Americans are being deprived of the fruits of their labor. Please listen to my previous podcast episode. But let me move forward. In spite of all the problems, I feel optimistic because we are a country of increasing diversity. We have people from various ethnicities, from various parts of the world. We have people who grew up speaking different languages, and now they are here in the United States. People who bring different ideas, they bring different skills, they bring different talents. This is a diverse country. Just go outside and look around you. There are so many different kinds of people in this country, and that is our strength. That is our strength. My friends, diversity is our strength, and that's why, let me tell you who I'm supporting for the position of the House Speaker. I believe that our country has a unique opportunity. We are in a critical juncture. If you see what's happening, if you pay attention to what's happening in our country, if you pay attention to what's happening in Washington, then you know that there's a lot of uncertainty. There are many challenges. But from all these challenges, there has arrived right in front of our eyes a unique opportunity to have the first African American House Speaker. And that's why I am supporting Byron Donalds for the position of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Byron Donalds, he's a congressman from the state of Florida. He's a strong legislator. He is a patriot. He's a hardworking member of Congress. And I believe that he has what it takes to be the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. And therefore, because of our commitment to diversity, and also because we value hard work, we value loyalty to our nation, we value strength, and we value one's commitment to doing what a person can to make this country greater than ever before. Byron Donalds can do it. I believe so. And that's why I am supporting him for the position of the House Speaker. Now, I have never met Byron Donalds. I would love to meet him. I have never met him. But out of all the candidates that I'm reading about, I think he is the one who is going to be a great speaker. Now, I liked Kevin McCarthy. And when he became the former speaker, and Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan were running for that position, I said, I like both of them. I like Steve Scalise. I like Jim Jordan. But as things move forward, we know that Steve Scalise withdrew his name, and then Jim Jordan also is no longer in the race. And so now we have a new pool of candidates who are interested in becoming the next Speaker of the House. And out of all those people, I know that there are many great candidates running. They're all very great. But I would love to see Byron Donalds as the next Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. My friends, I'm hoping that we will soon have the first African American House Speaker in Washington. My friends, I appreciate you all staying connected with me and for continuing to listen to my podcast. And, you know, there's one thing that I wish to talk about that I think is very important that I'm sure other people talk about it. I don't know. But this is something I wish to talk about in my podcast, and that's the issue of fairness. Just think about the word for a second. Think about fairness. Everything that we do, everything that happens to us, every situation, every circumstance, look at each and everything, each and every day, each and every thing that's happening in our life, and look for fairness. Sometimes we have to sit and think, are we being fair to others? Am I being fair to my friend? Am I being fair to my business associate? Is somebody else being fair to us? Is that person who I have a business relationship with being fair to me? Is my friend being fair to me? Am I treating people fairly? Am I being treated fairly? No matter what we do, when we look at all the actions around us, we have to look for fairness. We need fairness in society. People need to be treated fairly. Ask yourself, is the government being fair to you? And one way you can try to figure that out is by seeing how your tax dollars are being used. Obviously, you're working, you're earning, you're paying taxes, and the government is taking those tax dollars and using them for a variety of purposes. Ask the question, is the government being fair in the way that your tax dollars are being used? And similarly, the government implements, comes up with various rules and regulations. Are those rules and regulations fair? There are many laws being passed. Are those laws being passed? Are those laws that are being passed, are those fair? There are lots of questions. And so fairness is something we have to keep in mind. And the reason I talk about it today is because I recently wrote a letter to the editor that was published in the Philadelphia Inquirer, in which I talked about Social Security's 3.2% cost of living increase for 2024. So people who are on Social Security, people who get Social Security checks, they are going to see a 3.2% increase in 2024. And this is called COLA, C-O-L-A, which is cost of living adjustment. And so this increase is basically cost of living is going up. So Social Security administration is going to increase the payments by 3.2% to basically, account for that cost of living increase. Now, is that 3.2% fair? In implementing a 3.2% cost of living increase for 2024, is the government being fair towards the senior citizens? And most people on Social Security are senior citizens and individuals with disabilities. And so I wrote a letter to the editor about it, which I mentioned was published in the Philadelphia Inquirer. And I basically said that seniors deserve better. Inflation has gone up significantly more. And I don't think a 3.2% increase is going to offset the increase in prices in the economy. I think senior citizens are having to pay a lot more because of the rise in prices in the economy. Their expenses have gone up more than this 3.2% increase that they are going to get in 2024. And it doesn't take effect right away. It's in 2024. And here we are still in the month of October. So you've got November, you've got December, and then in January, the seniors will see this increase. So it's not right away. And by January, prices may go up even further. So when you think about fairness, I don't think that the senior citizens of our country are being treated fairly by the government. That's my opinion. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me. Whatever your viewpoints are, feel free to share. You can send me an email. Just send me an email at tausifanam.net. tausifanam.net. Send me an email. Let me know what you think. And if you want to read my letter to the editor, you can do that. Go to tausifanam.net, which is my website. And in the list of published opinions, you will find a link to that letter. So let me know your thoughts. My friends, people have strong opinions sometimes when they think about celebrities, whether it's a music star, whether it's an actor, whether it's a fashion model, whatever kind of celebrity it may be. People have opinions about celebrities, right? I mean, athletes. And celebrities also have opinions about political figures. If you are paying attention to the news, obviously you know that celebrities often say things about different political candidates and different political figures and different elected officials. They either express their support or they express their opposition. They express their agreement with the political figures' viewpoints, or they express strong disagreement. And obviously, in the day and age of social media, it's very easy for a celebrity to go on the internet and to write a statement expressing support for somebody in public office, or to express some kind of an opposition, and to send out a message that is then viewed by thousands and millions of Americans. And in fact, not just Americans, people from all over the world can see what celebrities are writing about different political figures and political candidates and public officials. So celebrities have strong opinions. And if you remember, going back to like 2015, 2016, there were lots of celebrities who were saying that if Trump becomes the president, then they are going to leave the United States, that they are not going to stay in this country, they are going to go somewhere else, and so on and so forth. And then we saw that a lot of those people who said that they were going to leave if Trump became the president, they ended up staying here. They didn't go. And then there were other TV personalities who mocked those celebrities and said, hey, why aren't you leaving the United States? Trump is the president. You said you were going to go. What happened? So anyway, we know all about that. And now I think the same thing's happening again. We are heading towards November 2024. I mean, we're still in the year 2023, but the time goes by very fast. And so very soon we will be arriving in November 2024. And what that means is there's an election, a presidential election. So celebrities have already started talking about politics, and they are talking about their preferred candidates. Some support Trump, some support Joe Biden, some support Ron DeSantis, some support, there are other candidates who are running. Anyway, so I just saw on the internet that a celebrity, somebody with a very big name, somebody who's very popular, said that she is going to leave the country if Donald Trump becomes the president. Well, here we go again, right? It'll be interesting to watch what happens between now and November 2024. And, we just have to wait and see. It's an election year is always very interesting. And, the most important thing to remember is we don't know yet who the Republican nominee will be. And this year is going to be even more interesting because Robert F. Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr., is running as an independent. And I have talked about it in my podcast. I talked about him, that he was initially running as a Democrat, and now he announced that he is running as an independent candidate. And so that will have some sort of an impact on the election. Is he going to take, as people like to say, is he going to take votes away from the Republican candidate? Is he going to take votes away from the Democratic candidate, or the nominee, I should say? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, people will predict different things, but there's no way to know what's going to happen. And what I have said before is that candidates have to earn the votes, right? So Robert F. Kennedy isn't going to take votes away from the Democrats or the Republicans. Whatever votes he gets, he's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to convince the voters to vote for him. So I don't talk about taking votes away from this candidate or that candidate. It's really about, you have to earn your vote. You have to make the case before the American public why they should vote for you. I think that's a proper way of looking at elections. Anyway, my friends, before I conclude this episode, I just want to say that we are still in the month of October, and October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and cybersecurity is very, very important. When we think of cybersecurity, we think of privacy, we think of protecting our information, we think of protecting our electronic devices from any kind of external breach. And so cybersecurity is very important, and it's not just for businesses or large organizations. In news, if you pay attention to the news, then you've probably read about hackers infiltrating and getting information from this database or that database, some giant corporation or some business or some other entity being hacked and information being leaked, stuff like that. I mean, we see that in the news. But it's not just about businesses or organizations or agencies. Cybersecurity is important for each and every individual. If you use a smartphone, if you have an email account, if you do online banking, if you are using a computer, and if you are connected to the internet, then cybersecurity is important for you. It's important for everyone. So I think October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and so we have to pay attention to, we have to learn all the different ways we can protect our personal information. And so pay attention to cybersecurity, learn how to protect your information, learn how to protect your privacy, and it's important for everyone. So pay attention to cybersecurity. So that was an awareness message. Now with that, I am going to conclude today's episode. Thank you very much for continuing to listen to my podcast, and I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.